Remember, koalas feed their newborns poop, which explains why they always look so pooped. Until we meet again, remember, Walt Disney was afraid of mice, which makes you wonder how he felt about a certain famous rodent. Until we meet again, remember, the western lowland gorilla's scientific name is gorilla gorilla gorilla, because apparently scientists aren't great at naming things. Until we meet again, remember, horses cannot breathe through their mouths, which is why they're always so eager to nasal passages. Until we meet again, remember, Saudi Arabia imports camels from Australia because when you're in the desert, you want the best. Until we meet again, remember, in some parts of Texas, it is illegal to cuss in front of a dead person because even in death, Texans have a reputation to uphold. Until we meet again, remember, loofahs are vegetables, which explains why they're so good at cleaning up your dirty jokes. Until we meet again, remember, eagles don't mate while airborne, because even birds need to come back down to earth sometimes. Until we meet again, remember, people once claimed that coconuts kill more people than sharks yearly, but that's just nuts. Until we meet again, remember, NASA saw 168 errors in the space film Armageddon, but they were all technicalities. Until we meet again, remember, a Lord of the Rings actor would rather hike up a whole mountain than ride a helicopter, because sometimes the journey is more important than the destination. Until we meet again, remember, Norway's reality TV is very different, because in Norway the real drama is the fjords. Until we meet again, remember, Big Brother US only showed news from the outside world on one day, because apparently the rest of the time they're too busy watching people sleep. Until we meet again, remember, Pringles are not potato chips, but they still stack up pretty well. Until we meet again, remember, watermelon is Oklahoma's state vegetable, because apparently they don't have enough fruit in their diet. Until we meet again, remember, lachanophobia is the fear of vegetables, which explains why some people are so afraid of getting their daily dose of greens. Until we meet again, remember, some people experience post-sex sadness, which is why it's always a good idea to have a box of tissues nearby for tears or other fluids. Until we meet again, remember, there were over 300 banana-related injuries in Britain in 2001, proving once and for all that bananas are a slippery slope. Until we meet again, remember, this Star Wars actor rolled around in the sand before shoots, because when you're in a galaxy far, far away, you have to make your own fun. Until we meet again, remember, George Lucas got stuck in the Jaws shark's head, but fortunately, he had a bigger boat. Until we meet again, remember, the voice of the exorcist demon ate raw eggs, chain-smoked, and had herself tied to a chair during recordings, because sometimes you have to really get into character. Until we meet again, remember, Bonnie and Clyde's gunshot sounds were so loud, a projectionist kept lowering the volume. Because even in the movies, it's all about the sound effects. Until we meet again, remember, everyday objects were used for the asteroids in Star Wars, because in space, no one can hear you say, "That's just a rock." Until we meet again, remember, Roman Polanski had pee thrown at his face during Chinatown. But hey, at least it was an acid rain. Until we meet again, remember, the cast of Stand By Me accidentally got high from pot cookies, proving once and for all that friendship really can make you see things differently. Until we meet again,